shouted, pointing from my shoulder at the massive kangaroo.
Babies!
Prison pocket, the demon kangaroo said, stretching up on his legs.
Come here, little babies! Let me put you in my warm, safe pouch.
He had a comical, almost offensively fake Australian accent. Like the sort of thing that would cause you to get your ass kicked by real Australians.
Babies, let's get you out of this rain. He talks!
Donut asked, incredulous. From the kangaroo's pouch, the engineer guy popped his head up. He was an older human. He wore the skin of a dead Joey like it was a Halloween costume. His entire face was red and burnt. He croaked for help, reaching out toward us. Multiple other dead kangaroo Joeys dangled from the top of the pouch like socks draped over a clothesline.
Now!
He said. I pulled up my emergency gremlin scroll, and I read it. At the same time, Donut read the same scroll. I quickly repeated the process 3 more times, and in moments, we had 8 gremlins in overalls standing in front of us, looking about, bewildered. All 8 were different. All 8 carried toolboxes with them. One had goggles on his head. One only had one eye. One had a hook for a hand.
What are we fixing, boss?
The eye patch one asked me. Sorry, guys, I said as we all took a few steps back. But we're using you as a distraction.
What you mean?
Babies!
Prison pocket repeated, reaching down with both hands and picking up the 2 closest gremlins who started to squeal.
Small, stinky babies. Hush now. Pompous, don't ya? No. Quit your crying. Just a little dip in the old pouch will set you right. So many babies. Just a little dip.
He pulled the 2 screaming gremlins to his pouch and shoved them in. Even over the rain, I could hear the squelching noise. It sounded like someone shoving their fist into a deep, wet pot of runny oatmeal. A line of goo oozed out the top of the pouch and plopped onto the ground, where it sizzled in the rain.
Okay, I've got to blow chunks,
Genesis said.
Yo, what the fuck?
The remaining gremlins shouted as they scattered.
No, little babies, don't run. Papa will keep you safe this time.
One of the gremlins jumped off the road and started booking toward the hills, only to get splattered by a wrecking ball-sized chunk of hail. The red-soaked hunk of ice rolled away down the hill.
No!
The kangaroo yelled.
No! Come back! It's not safe!
Haunted. Oh, yeah.
I really need a new job.
Pontiff grumbled. I did my best not to feel bad about the gremlins. According to Amani, who'd already used the scroll once, she said they exploded when they were summoning it anyway. These were procedurally generated NPCs, different and less intelligent than the regular ones. Something Rosetta called a Class C NPC. They were the same as the guests on the main dance floor at the Desperado Club. Artificial life as opposed to true sentience. You mean, like the Sluggles? A voice in the back of my mind said. They were supposed to be the same kind as this, and that clearly wasn't the case. Those psychotic slug fuckers were no different than most regular NPCs. At least, not the higher level ones, like the Bigs and some of the others. But I didn't have time to ponder it.
Go!
He shouted to Genesis in rapture as we moved to part 2 of the plan. To my right, the 2 woman tars loped forward astonishingly fast. Their job was to get me one of the dead Joeys. They would use their arm chains to do it.
Thwomp, thwomp!
Donut shot a pair of magic missiles right into the eyes of the boss, who squealed in outrage as his head snapped back. His health went down a good bit, but he immediately brought a gremlin to his mouth, and his health fully returned. So much for a level 16 magic missile.
Naughty, fussy baby!
The kangaroo said as he chewed.
Carl, did you see that? That barely worked.
He's level 106! I cast Run, Little Gunter, Run. The chunky, pig-nosed kid in lederhosen appeared. His lollipop had changed color, but he otherwise looked the same as last time. Hi, I'm Gunter. Hey kid, get that giant kangaroo! I said, pointing. I nodded to Pontiff, who was already in his back swing with his massive glowing mallet. He walloped little Gunter with all of his strength. Thud! Pontiff let out a surprised grunt and flew back. It was as if his mallet had hit a solid wall. Nine! Gunter shrieked, and he turned and ran directly toward the kangaroo, who had two more gremlins in one fist and was reaching for a third with the other. The little kid ran right between the legs of Genesis, who had her arm aimed toward the kangaroo's pouch. She fired, and pierced the screaming engineer guy right in the face, killing him instantly. She whooped and retracted, pulling his now dead body toward us. Buy me! Prison pockets. Prison pocket.
That's funny, man.
It's so
Prison pocket said, seeing Gunter run toward him.
Yes, yes. Time to pop a little baby. Such healthy, ruddy cheeks. Blam!
The moment Gunter reached the kangaroo, the kid suddenly rocketed forward, the effects of the mallet strike delayed until that exact moment. What I was expecting to happen was for Prison Pocket to get knocked off his feet. I wasn't expecting him to get blown off the road. The massive kangaroo completely flipped in the air, landing on his back with an earth-shattering crunch. We all dove out of the way of his long, ridged tail.
Here! Here!
Genesis said, dropping the bloody dead engineer at my feet.
Keep it down!
He yelled, pointing at the boss.
Donut, make more gremlins!
I'm on it! She shouted as she summoned another. This one was a woman holding an oversized wrench. Two more appeared at the same time, and they all looked at each other, disoriented. I examined the corpse at my feet. There was a hole the size of my fist in the middle of the man's face.
Niels! Human. Level 35 mechanical engineer with a specialty in weapons upgrades. This NPC was killed by Genesis the Womantar via a grappling hook to the goddamned face. This was 2 of 2 available engineers during this heat. Neither were claimed. Better luck next time.
The Joeys!
I shouted as I started to pull the blood-soaked costume off.
And let you get the engineer? I don't think so.
Genesis said, Yeah,
Yeah, just because we're doing the temporary ally thing don't mean we stupid and shit.
Rapture added. Prison Pocket. Prison Pocket was already starting to recover.
Donut!
I said as I pulled at the corpse's legs. My hands burned as I worked. The kangaroo skin was stuck to his body. It had built-in gloves with long clawed nails at the end. The palm of the hand had a thick pad like the paw of a dog. If those two idiots had got me one of the Joeys, I would have had this already.
Keep the kangaroo down!
Enchanted juvenile macropus dominus? Let me start over. Enchanted juvenile macropus dominus skin. This item fills a costume slot. This can be worn as an outer garment. Might want to protect your face, though.
Oh, I'd fuck me. I'd fuck me so hard, man.
Equipping this costume imbues the following effects. Protection from seeping acid. A level 10 jump skill. +5 to the lotion application skill.
I didn't even realize what I read until it came out.
Warning! This is a timed item. It has a 12-hour limit.
Slam!
A giant piece of hail smashed right into the stomach of the groaning kangaroo, who remained crumpled off the side of the road.
More babies!
The prone kangaroo said as he munched on another gremlin, which fully healed him.
God damn it!
I cried. I pulled at the feet of the sticky Joey skin. Next to me, the two woman-tars just stood there and watched.
You can at least help!
This was your plan.
Genesis said. Donut swept her paw forward and the large bird appeared. Annie, Kassia's level 80 card from the 8th floor. The monster was called an Burger. A raven with the skull of an infant. The skull clacked as it looked about in confusion, likely looking for Katsia. There were teeth embedded into the skull, and even though I'd seen this thing a few times now, the sight was so jarring it temporarily pulled me from the moment. It reminded me of why we were doing this, why we had to survive. The bird flew in a circle and let out a human-like cry.
What the hell's is that?
Ratcher asked.
Kill it!
Genesis shouted.
Hold, you idiots!
Pontiff called.
Annie!
Donut said, ignoring the woman-tars as I finally yanked the rest of the costume free. I started to pull it on. I had to shove my legs through the neck hole.
Go for the monster's eyes! Keep it down and distracted!
The bird's cries went up in pitch. The bird hovered in front of Donut, almost menacingly. Donut took a step forward so her head was almost touching the bird.
We need your help!
I shoved my arms into the stinking costume. I hoped my goddamned inventory would still work with this thing on. I pulled the kangaroo head over my own, and there was an audible click. A new achievement flashed and went away.
How did you do that?
Donut demanded. I looked down, and my boxers and knee pads were now on the outside of the costume. My jacket remained on the inside, but my cloak was around my neck and flapping in the wind. I could feel it there against my junk. It felt and smelled like my naked skin was pressed up against the body of a wet farm animal. The whole costume quivered as if it were alive. What the hell?
Warning! Your boxer effects have been negated by your costume. Warning! Your pedicure effects have been negated by your costume.
Shit, it said again. I pulled a banger sphere from my inventory, praying it would appear outside the costume, not just in my hand, under the covering of the skin. Thankfully, the sphere appeared in the paw, though it immediately rolled away. Annie let out another cry and rocketed toward the boss, who once again was trying to get up. Pontiff was casting something with his mallet. Donut hit it with another magic missile. Even prone like this, the boss continued to heal itself. It seems to have a never-ending supply of dead Joeys to consume. It had one of the gremlins in its grip, but he squeezed too tight. The poor monster exploded.
Baby!
Prison Pocket called forlornly as it continuously grasped for the scattered NPCs. One of the original gremlins dragged himself across the hail-covered grass. When it missed out, he had been injured. The boss reached for the NPC, ignoring us.
I'm ready!
I called as I adjusted the costume. The wide head of the dead Joey sat awkward on top of my own head. Okay, here we go. I turned to run at the boss. I promptly fell on my face.
Warning! Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see you do this when you can't walk. You want to be a kangaroo so bad, then I guess you gotta act like one.
This was your goddamn setup!
I called, pulling myself up. I pulled my bandana all the way over my face. I prepared the two hobgoblin big boom satchels in my inventory. I looked down at my feet, at my large, sagging, kangaroo feet. I hopped.
Yes, yes, little chum.
The boss shouted as he spied me. He remained on his back.
Come the pauper. It's warm and safe and oh so moist. Come the pauper's pouch.
I think I just teabagged. He cried out a moment later, swiping at Annie, who dived on his face. I leapt one more time, flying higher and further than I'd been anticipating. I landed with a splash, directly on the outside of his pouch. I tried to stand, but I couldn't get my balance. It was like trying to walk on a waterbed. I needed to get to the lip of the pouch, and then I had to get all the way to the bottom of the pocket, where I would drop the 2 satchels. And then I needed to get the hell out of there before I blew them both.
Here, little one. Let me help you.
Prison Pocket roared as he grabbed me. Gah! He said, as I was snatched up and smushed face first into the gooey interior of the pouch. I choked, and my face started to burn. I couldn't see anything. Luckily, the costume came with claws, and I started to pull myself downward. Donut.
Cole, are you okay?
It was like trying to pull myself through warm jelly. I was in the suit, burning. It smelled. Oh, God. It smelled so bad. Like rotten meat mixed with the sharp vinegar tang of fruit juice left out too long. I grasped, and I pulled, and pulled, and pulled, going ever deeper into the kangaroo's pouch. There were things in here, getting in my way, bouncing off my face. Bones, more corpses of Joeys, the toolbox. I pulled and I grasped, dragging myself down. Donut.
Cole, he's standing up! Hurry!
I caught onto something round, and I used it as a handhold, yanking myself even more downward. The boss's muffled voice reverberated through the goo. I felt him pat the outside of the pouch.
You must be hungry, little lad. Don't tickle Papa's nips like that. You won't get milk from them, but Papa always appreciates little kisses.
The bottom of the pouch hit me right in the face. I released the 2 satchels from my inventory. I couldn't see anything, but I could still sense them there. They started to quickly degrade. I didn't want to do this next part to get into the pouch because I couldn't control how deep I went. And I just knew I would have ended up in his stomach, unable to flee. Escaping, however. I faced outward, pressed my kangaroo feet against the interior of his stomach. I hopped just as I activated Gloom with Gloom Wraith phase. I hit the detonator in my inventory as I flew through the air. I tumbled and flipped like I'd been shot from a cannon, and I hit the ground and bounced, still rolling, asphalt ripping into the side of my face. Ice and kangaroo bits rained down all around me as I rolled right off the road. Fist-sized chunks of hail continued to pummel me. This was quickly followed by the sound of revving car engines. I groaned and rolled onto my back as the APV and GTO both zoomed by on the street next to me. Multiple achievements and a level up notification appeared, but I waved them away. Standing over me was a gremlin.
You can go fuck yourself.
He said as he dropped his toolbox on my stomach. I probably deserve that, I said, just before he timed out and exploded.